So we're making beef stock today with some beef soup bones. And the first thing you do is you just put it in a big, you can do a roaster oven, you could do a crock pot, you could do a stock pot, and you're gonna add your soup bones, some water, onion, carrot, celery, bay leaf, salt, kind of whatever vegetables you want to add for some flavoring. I have here 16 pounds of soup bones, 4 carrots, 4 onions, 4 celeries, 4 bay leaves, and salt, and 8 quarts of water. So I'm just gonna let this do its thing. I'm gonna let it just simmer and cook all day. Then I will take the meat off of the bones and we'll use it for dinner tonight. And then all of the remaining juices is what I'll use for beef stock. So we're gonna give this a nice several hours to simmer and become yummy, delicious, and flavorful. Okay, this is what it looks like after about 6 hours of cooking. So now I'm gonna remove all of the soup bones and take the meat off the bones and then get all of the vegetables out, so I'm left with just the stock. Okay, so this is all of the meat off of the bone, and then this is the stock. So you have to bring it back up to boiling because you're gonna put hot stock in hot jars. And some people get really intimidated by canning, but honestly, if you just follow the instructions in the book that comes with your canner, you're gonna be great. So anyway, so I'm just gonna get this up, and I kind of need to work on dinner and some other stuff while I'm doing all things in the kitchen. So I'm just gonna put it onto a simmer and then I'll deal with it when I have time. Okay, I put the hot beef stock into hot quart jars, and they are in my pressure canner. So now I'm going to put the pressure canner lid on and then follow the directions in my pressure canner instruction book. Super easy. So those 16 pounds of soup bones got me exactly 7 quarts for a full canner, and that makes me super happy. Okay, so the next thing, I have my lid on, and then I have it up on about an 8 on my stove. And the next step is you're just going to let this get nice and hot inside, let the pressure build. And I'm keeping an eye on here. This is called the vent. And as soon as I see steam coming out of there, I'm going to probably back down my temperature a little bit, but I want to keep a steady stream of steady stream of steam coming out of the vent for 10 minutes. As soon as that 10 minutes is done, then actually this is different. Okay, so as soon as this is done steaming for 10 minutes out of the vent, and it's not, that's a pot actually behind it, that's our dinner, then I'm going to put this weight right here on top of it, and if that's going to cause the pressure to build inside, and I'm going to keep an eye on it until it gets to 10, because I have to process this jars, the bottles, for 25 minutes for quarts at 10 pounds of pressure. So my temperature on my stove is going to kind of make sure that I keep that at 10 pounds. So if I have too much pressure, I'm going to back my temperature off on my stove. If I don't have enough, I'm going to put it up. And then, yeah.
Each house.
So this is going to steam for 10 more minutes. Okay, so let me just put on this, and now it's going to build up pressure. I'm going to watch the gauge until it gets to 10, and I'll use my temperature for my stove to keep that exactly where I want it. As soon as it gets to 10 pounds of pressure, then I'll start my timer for 25 minutes. So all of the jars are sealed. You can tell this is a thick layer of fat on the top as it's cooled. The fat has risen. So when I open these up to use them, I will just scrape the top of this off and throw it away, and then I've got some awesome broth stock underneath to use.